started if we can. All right. Are they, did you do the? Yeah. Nice. All right. Okay. Molly.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just picking up where we left off before the adjournment, through questioning, we've come to the conclusion that what is currently on the table as an amendment is in fact a direct negative of the original motion on the table, on the basis that the original motion, if we have a look at it, is seeking the delegation of chair and deputy chair decisions to those discretionary committees. But if we follow through with the amendment, then in fact, council is making that decision. And so it's a direct negative. So what happens in this situation is it's ruled as a direct negative. And you can do that, Chair.
So we go back then to the
original motion. That becomes back on the table, subject to amendment. Yep, subject to amendment. Yep.
Chair, I accept the ruling, but not the transparency of the intent. Thank you.
So I just want to add in do an amendment, deputy, all of that, and that occurs today. So that gives more inflection, more emphasis to the motion. So it can go to the subcommittees, but that happens today. Because I don't need another 2-hour day for everybody to drive in to make committee chairs. Let's just do it today. So it's not a negative, it just probably doubles down on it. Do I have a seconder?
Through you, Chair, can I just check with Marley, is it possible to call a committee meeting today?
It isn't. However, I do hear the intent behind what you're proposing, Councillor Mahuta, and so a appropriate amendment might be along the lines of the members of the committees. Yes, so that, you know, I guess the decision could be made today if that it was amended
Doesn't
in that
there
manner.
have to be the public notice of meetings of committees?
Has been delegated, so I'm saying it's as public. They have no say in who's on the committee. We make that decision shortly. And whether it was later today or tomorrow, we're still enacting the resolution and the recommendation. So again, just want to bring the time forward. I'm worried, and the reason I do this, Madam Chair, is for expediency, that we won't have a first proper committee meeting till the first quarter of next year. So this is all for, you know, but if we want to make the decision of chair, then they can get ahead and organise the Triennium going forward before we go to break. If we don't do it today, you'd be hard pressed to find another day we get 14 in.
Yeah, this is a unique suggestion for sure. And so just thinking through the implications of whether we can do it and whether it's okay, does rely on, I guess, well, support from around the table that this is the approach that is taken, and confidence that it is a appropriate process to undertake today.
Chair to do the suite of recommendations, it's asked to be delegated to those committees to do. I'm arguing they can still do it today because we have full quorum of those committees. It'll be just like 5-minute meetings, won't it? We open the meeting, do the vote, close the meeting. My worry is that we ask for another day. It's another cost to this council, and I don't think anyone that this, it wants to cost the council more over this committee decision stuff. It costs us time today. It costs us money on another day.
Just wanted to raise a point there. I presume under that motion, or even the one you're amending, the committees can meet separately. You don't have to have a committee of the whole council for a committee to meet. If there's 4 to 6 people, they can go and do it tomorrow or whenever. They don't require a whole, it's not going to be excessively efficient.
Other than that, we do have to give public notice of meetings of committees of council and publish an agenda as
So-
well.
My reading of.
That's me, sorry.
Oh,
I
sorry.
Just,
Sorry,
I've
didn't
got-
realize.
I've got Councillor Hughes and then sorry, you've already gone there, Ben?
Yes, I'd like to thank Councillor Mahuta for the suggestion, and provided it's constitutionally correct and that councillors are in agreement, I think we should be doing it. And if it's not constitutionally correct and we have to do notifications, then can I suggest that in order to save costs, it could be done as a Teams meeting rather than having to reconvene here as a group of councillors in committee.
Yeah. So,
Just
sorry.
thinking this through, can I try and be helpful?
Because I'm just reflecting on the notice of meeting,
Kapai.
right?
If you take a look at the agenda item for today, it does talk about appointing chairs and deputy chairs, and it anticipates that you will be doing that for discretionary committees as well, at least from the staff report. It is the chairperson's recommendation that that decision is actually taken at a future date. So if we get to a point today where decisions on those positions are made today, then it wouldn't be inappropriate, because what's within this agenda has already been signalled to the members and also to the public. So we aren't, I guess, doing anything inappropriate if we take this particular approach. It does require, though, that all of council supports the amendment and that all of council is comfortable that the members of the committees are those that are voting for the chairs and deputy chairs.
Well, that membership decision is yet to be made in the consequent resolution.
Mm.
Yeah, so, thank you. But thanks for, so my amendment is Marley, sorry. If you're going to help me with the words.
Okay. Let me just have a look at the words.
All right.
I've got a suggestion for the words, if you like. In the motion that the chair has up there, all it would require is to do the same wording, but say in the second line, delegated to those members of the committees, as opposed to delegating it directly to the committees, if that makes sense.
Sorry, what was that?
So if we were to copy paste it, and then second line, where it says discretionary committees is delegated to those members of the committees, and that future, yeah.
So you need to add in today.
And at the end, we would say and made today. I believe Tipper said, yeah. Or there, yes. So I believe that would make it clear that it's delegated to those members of the committees, which are not yet formed, but that it would happen today, but that it is not expressly delegated to the committee It does not have to open and close. We are all here and those members are here.
I just wonder
Okay,
if
just checking though,
legal.
that we still have considerable agenda items to get through today. And I just, for this to work today, everybody would need to stay. And we haven't ordered dinner yet. So it's just,
Let's not do that.
Everyone
So I
would like
just-
certainty today.
I just wanted to raise a question, two things. One, does there need to be a notice that committee meetings are being held before they are held? It does. So we would have to notify today that the committee was going to meet later today.
It's what Marley said, it's already.
No, but if the committee is meeting to make a decision, it would have to be notified publicly that it was going to make a decision on
sorry,
it.
I'm just concerned that we are relying on Molly for advice, but Molly is in the middle of another conversation. So.
Can you repeat the question for me, please?
So two things. One, is there a statutory requirement that any committee meeting that is to be held that would make a decision on chair and deputy chair should be publicly notified before that meeting is held? Question one. And question two is, when you're delegating to members of the committee, I don't know that that's actually a democratic, a formal, you should delegate to the committee rather than members. Otherwise, the members are meeting external to a committee. It's a question, query.
You raise a good point, and it's exactly what we are discussing with regard to this amendment. So can a committee make that decision without having publicly notified the meeting and the intention to appointing chair and deputy? No. Not unless there was an emergency. There are some exceptions. But what this is proposing is that we don't convene committee meetings to make those decisions, that in fact, the members of those committees that are about to be appointed make that decision today. So that's what you will agree to if you support this decision. However, if you don't agree with this amendment and your view is that it should be delegated to committees and the decisions be made on another day, then clearly you don't agree with this amendment. And so that's how you would vote.
Just, is it legal for a group of people who are members to meet external to a committee and make decisions on that without that publicly committee being notified?
I don't think that's what's being proposed here. We would all just continue in the council meeting and I'd have to check with Councillor Mahuta because she is the mover of the amendment. What would happen is we would continue with the council meeting. The decisions will be made in the council meeting today. However, those that are voting on the chair and deputy chair will be limited to the members on that particular committee. That's what's being proposed.
Is that not outside the agenda? Okay.
It isn't, on the basis that the report does talk about the council appointments, which includes membership, deputy chair and chairs, and also other groups. So this process, in my opinion, could be undertaken in the way that it is articulated.
Yet, so let's make sure we're not going to waste more time on it. So I'll move that way. Does anyone support me?
I've seconded it, Tipper.
Thank you, Angela.
It's an amendment to the motion that's on the table.
Sorry, yeah, Councillor Cookson?
Ask a question, please?
Sure.
Yeah. So if we run out of time today, because it's only got today to go complete that, is that then still standing, or do we would go from there? Are we going to be here till 9 o'clock tonight? Okay, I'll just ask. I was just asking that. Thank you.
Can we speak to this motion?
Sorry, hang on a second. I'm just wanting to. Want to do that now?
I was just going to suggest, councillors, I was just reading it and I'm just wondering, so it's unambiguous what's been intended, if in fact that the initial appointment of the chair and deputy chair of the discretionary committees is delegated to those members of the committees so they can make a decision today. It's not just that it's being delegated to them today, because then it could be inferred it's going to be at a later date. If that was the intent, I'd just prefer it to be included so it's unambiguous.
Okay, if there was some reason then, and I don't know what, like people had to go and we lost a quorum or something, and so therefore those decisions could not all be made today, where does that leave us?
I suggest that you adjourn the meeting before we lose the quorum, Madam Chair, because you couldn't even adjourn it if you lost the quorum.
I'm just wanting to, I'm looking at what's left on our agenda and just thinking about what time we're at right now and just wanting to, I know that we didn't have in our calendars until 9 o'clock tonight. So just trying to make sure that we don't get ourselves into a.
I think though, Madam Chair, the benefit of great leadership over Triennium should be given the time and space. If people don't have that time now, they won't have it later on in the committees.
Madam Chair, can I just ask a question?
Sorry,
When do
Molly,
intend-
did you have something you wanted to add, Molly?
Oh, it was only a simple answer to the question that was posed earlier. If we lose quorum partway through the meeting, then the meeting
Stop.
lapses. Yeah. And no decisions can be made.
Right, so that was just my question about this particular, that if this motion passes and then for some reason we lose the quorum, then what happens for the process or appointment?
It will have to continue on another day when council reconvenes.
Which is the current proposal.
Madam Chair, can I
So
just ask a question here to possibly help everybody? Is that what is the realistic timeframe that we can go to today? I know I've got another meeting at 6 o'clock tonight and would like to have something before then to eat. But the reality is, can we realistically put a timeframe? And then if we don't achieve the business of the day, that it is adjourned at that point, so that we don't. Staff have got a family life and everything else, and we've all got family life. So if we can't conclude it, and not that I'm trying to delay the process to make sure that we don't, the reality is we should set a time frame and then adjourn it to another day if we don't.
Just a proposal, and it might not be popular at all.
Nice disclaimer.
We could potentially deal with this one matter after we get through the membership, the discussion on membership or decision making in relation to membership, and then come back to this. Yes, leave it on the table, do the other decisions, and then come back to this.
I like that. Not losing anything.
So since it's an amendment to 2, are we leaving both the amendment and the original lie on the table until we get through the process?
Correct, because I think we could start making some progress if we deal with the next set of decisions and then come back to this one.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm just checking in. We're at 12:25. So just trying to gauge how much we can get through before we need to have a break for lunch. All right. Okay, sorry, there were people that were wanting to speak. I just want to check, since we have decided to leave those lie on the table. Everybody's all right. Angela's happy to wait. Okay.
Move we
Right.
adjourn, Madam Chair, for lunch.
Um,
Madam Chair, could I suggest that setting the lunchtime take into account the likes of Marley, who's having to work pretty hard
Yeah,
today, so
yeah.
that she gets a break.
She ain't the only one working hard. All right, we will adjourn for lunch and come back at 1 o'clock. All right? Thank you.